Hey, Algebra 2, welcome back, guys. We are moving into section 2 of chapter 13 titled Angles of Rotation. Make sure that you guys have your textbooks open. Go ahead and go to page 936, and we're going to be looking through the first 3 example problems. So if you guys could take a moment now to maybe pause the video, copy down all the info that you're seeing on your screen there. There are 6 terms in this section that you have to copy down. You got to know their definitions because they will be using these key terms pretty frequently through the section as well as the chapter. And of course, they're going to be using them later on with little reviews that we do. I will be using them and you have to understand them. So there you go. Also copy the chart that talks about positive and negative rotation. That's on page 936. The quick, very fast definition of that chart is you're going to notice that when they give you a positive rotation, and a positive rotation is just them giving you a positive number. Like they could say 160, like 160 degrees, that'd be a positive number. How do you know what direction to go? All right, if you're looking at specifically, go ahead and look at page 936 right now. And everything starts in what's called standard position. And if I wrote that, there we go. So everything like that says right there, both start in standard position. Standard position is at 0 degrees. And what is 0 degrees? Take a look at that page right there, 936. And 0 degrees is basically you're on the positive x axis if you're thinking of it as like a graph. So that's going to be your starting point. And for a positive number, you are rotating counterclockwise. Okay, so if you got to think, a clock is going to be moving in this motion right here. So counterclockwise would be moving in this motion right here. Okay, so take a look at the book right there. You'll see positive rotations go counterclockwise. That would mean negative rotations go clockwise. Okay, both start, as I said, in standard position right there at 0 degrees. And then you need to know which way to go. If they give you a positive number, counterclockwise. They give you a negative number, clockwise. Okay, and they do a little example of that right there on 936. All right, we're going to get to this term in a little bit called coterminal angles, but you're going to see that you can have many correct answers. In fact, I believe the book even uses the word infinite correct answers here. So for some of you guys, you're thinking jackpot, I could put almost anything. And the keyword almost, because every answer you give for a coterminal angle has to be in multiples of 360 from the given number. All right, so we're going to go through that in just a sec here. Maybe that'll make a little bit more sense. All right, so I'm going to put this back up. If you didn't pause it, copy all that down. And then we're going to move it right to here. You could pause it, copy all of that down. Now let's go ahead and finish this thing out. Let's take a look at example 1A where we actually have to draw the angle with the given measurement in standard position. I'm doing this freehand, so by no means is this going to look perfect. Although the program I have here really does help me draw some very straight lines. As you can see, that is not my freehand. That's the program. Take a look at the writing to the left of it. That's clearly my freehand. And yeah, I'm still getting used to the whole writing with the stylus on the iPad situation here. All right, that probably dates me. Super old, Mr. A, but we'll just work through this together. Okay, so here we go, 210 degrees. We start in standard position. To use a nice little tool here, this right there, that's where you're going to start. Okay, and from there it's a positive 210. So if we are starting in standard position, if we go up to here, that is 90 degrees. Then if we keep going down to here, that is 180 degrees. And then we're probably going to go right about there. That's just a ballpark, maybe about that far, not quite. So if that were to be roughly where 210 degrees is, let's get another little color here, then we would have an angle that looks roughly like that and there. Okay, go ahead and put your arrows on it. That's going to be about 210 degrees. All right, that went in the counterclockwise direction because it was a positive number. Now 1C, we're skipping 1B. 1C, I just wanted to jump in and show you one that was a negative degree. So a negative number is going to go clockwise. Again, we are still always going to be starting in standard position, starting right there. And if we go in the clockwise, then if we go all the way to here, that's 90. We go all the way to here, that's 180. We go all the way to here, that's 270. And then we're looking at probably right about there. That's, again, just an estimate, but it's pretty close. So then what we would say when we draw in our angle is we're going to have an angle that goes here through there. And that's going to be roughly your negative 300 degree angle. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and jump down here to 2A. So we're on page 937 right now. And we're talking about coterminal angles. And you remember up here, we can have basically an infinite quantity of coterminal angles that will still equal a correct answer. But if you remember also what I said, everything has to be in a multiple of 360 from the given number. Like, in other words, the problem that they give you, if we look right here, they give us 500 as our given number. Sorry, 2A, they give us 88 as our given number. So then what you're going to want is you're going to want a positive coterminal angle and a negative coterminal angle. So all you got to do is take 88, and then you're going to go ahead and add 360 to that, and then take 88, and you're going to subtract 360 from that. Work those out. Looks like we're getting 448 and negative 272. Okay, so those are the coterminal angles, just two of the infinite number of coterminal angles that you could get for 88 degrees. All right, let's do 2B here. Now, you'll notice a difference with 2B. The number 500 is bigger than 360. So you have some options here. You could take 500 and subtract 360. And what are you going to get from that? Let's see, 500 minus 360. You're going to get 140. 140 could be considered your positive coterminal angle. Or you could take 500 and add 360 to that, and you could get then 860. That's also a positive coterminal angle. But up to this point, we still haven't gotten our negative coterminal angle. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to go ahead and take that 500 minus 360, and I'm going to keep subtracting 360. Remember, it has to be in increments of 360 from the original given number. So the original given number is 500. You subtract 360, it's 140. It's not negative yet. So you got to subtract another 360, and then you're going to get a negative 220. Now you have your negative coterminal value. So right here, that would work. Right here, that would work. If you want to include the 140, that works too. But remember, for your answers, you have to have one positive and one negative coterminal angle. All right, so let's move it down. 2C, we have a negative 120. So we're in the negatives, all right? So if we were to take a negative 120 and subtract 360 from it, we're going to still be in the negatives. That's fine. Negative 480 180. All right, that could be our negative coterminal angle, but then you're going to need to take that negative 120 and add 360 to it, giving you 240. That's now your positive coterminal angle. All right, remember again, got to have one positive, got to have one negative. Okay, all right, let's move it down here. We're going to do 3A, 3B, and 3C. All right, then that'll finish us out. We're not going to do example 4. Okay, so now what we're getting into is called a reference angle. And I put a little note over here, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that you guys copy that down. All right, that little note right there, that tells you where do you get your reference angle from. You get it from the original number, so for 3A, the 105, and then figuring what is 105 closest to? Is it closest to 180 or is it closest to 360? All right, so if we were to draw this out, it's a positive 105. You'd always start in standard position, go 90, and then we go just a teeny bit more. It's closer to the 180 marker. Remember, this right here is the 180 marker. Now, how close is it to 180 is your answer. When they say what's the reference point, first step, what is it closer to, 180 or 360? 105 is closer to 180. How close is it? It is 75 degrees. How did I get that? Let's hopefully make sure you guys made that simple jump. 180 minus 105 is 75. Okay, so the answer that we're looking for here is the 75 degrees. All right, same exact concept. Let's take a look. Now we have a negative 115 degrees. Now I don't want you to get confused because you can still think, okay, it could be negative 180 or negative 360. Just think 180 and 360. All right, is 115 closer to 180 or 360? It's closer to 180. How close is it? All right, so if we were to go opposite direction, there's 90, a little bit more. All right, it is 65 degrees. That's going to basically say if we have 100, a negative 115 degrees being that, then what they're wanting to know is what is this part right here? Okay, that extra bit is what they're asking for. That's your reference angle. Okay, last one. Let's finish strong here. 310. Is it closer to 180 or 360? It's closer to 360. All right, so we go 90, 180, 270, a little bit. Clearly, we are closer to 360. All right, all we're looking for is this extra piece right here. And what do we get? We get a 50-degree angle. 50 plus 310 is 360. Do the other math here. Sorry, let's erase that. 65 and 115. Add those together. What do you get? 180. All right. I think that pretty much covers us. All right. You guys got this. Okay. We're going to finish strong. I know I said it in the first video, but remember, we're only doing 4 sections from this chapter. And then we're going to cut it out. We're going to review, and then your exam is just going to be on those first 4 sections. And then we're done. Take a breath. Be thankful. All right. Hey, miss you guys. All right. Like I always say, we'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.